Greetings, grapple fans, and welcome back to When the Dust Is Settled, the post-show results rundown brought to you by my good self, Josh Kenovan, on behalf of Pro2 Wrestling. Pro2 ventured into Kilwinning for the first time to present Dominion from the Kilwinning Orange Hall, and what a lineup it was. So, let's get into it. We kick things off with the Alliance finally defending the Pro2 Tag Team Championships against Lucha Scotland, the very team that they took the belts from, and they immediately went on the offence with a blindsiding. After the Luchadors gained the upper hand, the Paley Wrecking Machine used some dirty tactics to turn things around. The pair did well to keep the Luchadors under their control, but one hot tag later and Lucha DS made an epic comeback. The Alliance tried to counter with a double Razor's Edge, but that was reversed by a double 619 from Lucha DS and a double Cortator Letal from Soldato, which put an end to the Alliance's tyrannical reign and allowed Lucha Scotland to become the first ever two-time Pro2 champions. Whilst Shamer crawled out of the venue, Sweeney stayed behind to shake hands with the new tag team champions in a moment of sportsmanship, whilst also announcing his retirement. Up next was supposed to be the Scottish Interpromotional Championship bout between Ace Anderson and Davey Blaze, but Blaze and Charles Boddington came out to announce that Ace Anderson would not be there, and pulled out Ace's bloody bandana. Show day manager Big Bad John was having none of it, and he came out and announced that the following contest between Silas Everett and Taylor Belando was now a number one contenders match, with the winner facing Blaze in the second half. The two PBW Academy graduates had a fairly even opening before Everett managed to turn things in his favour. Everett spent too much time gloating, which allowed Belando to make his comeback and fire up the crowd. Everett attempted a comeback of his own, but Belando countered it with an RKO for the win. And after the fight, I got in the ring to interview Belando. And your first half main event was a PWR showdown between Methal's favourite son, Frank Gallo, and the colossal Hunter Sampson. Gallo initially struggled to gain his footing against the big man's power, but was able to use his superb technical skills to break down Hunter's arm, applying various submission holds throughout the contest to try and get that pivotal tap-out victory. Sampson attempted numerous comebacks, but was constantly disarmed by Gallo. However, the Giant was not for surrendering and managed to counter a cross armbar into a monstrous and victorious chokeslam. Your second half began rather abruptly, with Davey Blaze attacking Taylor Belando during his entrance. The two brawled on the outside before finally taking the action to the ring, but it was all over in a flash as Blaze caught Belando mid-air with a devastating Sparrowhawk spear to dash his championship aspirations. Up next we saw the goddess Hera descending from her throne to take on the newest member of the Bells division and fellow Banky, Katie Mills. It was the immovable object meets the irresistible force, and after some initial power struggles, Mills managed to catch Hera with a stiff front slam, and she did not play fair. Hera managed to counter a headlock with a leg sweep and managed to get back on top for a little while. After a crossbody from the second turnbuckle, Hera unleashed her divine wrath as she choked Katie into submission. And your main event saw Ayrshire Heavyweight Champion TJ Rage take to the ring to defend against a mystery opponent, but before the opponent could be announced, Charles Boddington got on the mic to have a rather disgusting rant about how much he didn't want senior referee Edith Summer to officiate the match. Big Bad John came out with a substitute referee and also announced that Frank Cross would be cashing in his King of the Bing trophy. After making a fool out of himself, Boddington retreated to the back, seemingly leaving the champion on his own. After some tomfoolery from Cross, Rage was furious and pulled out every dirty trick in the book that he could get away with. The momentum was in constant flux for each competitor, with the action spilling to the outside, including the Orange Hall bar, the toilets, and even the street. Thankfully, Big Bad John and Pro2 security were on hand to ensure that all fans who followed the action were not harmed. Back inside the ring, Big Strutton fought hard to keep things in his favour, but Boddington returned to pull the referee out of the ring and smack Cross with his briefcase, costing him the match as Rage delivered a vicious spear for the win. And that's what went down at Dominion. Our next show will be Rockin' Wrestling, brought to you live on the final day of Pressfest, Sunday the 4th of August at the Prestwick Community Hall at 3 o'clock. Our next big show after that will be King of the Bing 2, brought to you live once again from the Rankinson Community Hall on the 17th of August. For more information regarding attendance to both shows, head over to www.pro2wrestlingonlinestore.bigcartel.com or follow us on our social medias to keep up to date on all things regarding Ayrshire's only homegrown wrestling promotion. Follow us at Pro2 Wrestling on Twitter and TikTok, at Pro2.Wrestling on Instagram, and Pro2 Wrestling on both Facebook and YouTube. I'm Josh Kenovan, and the dust is most certainly settled. See you next time.